Peace. Peace.
Peace.
We're here at Pan-African Study Community Education Program, located Temple University, Cecil B. Moore. We have a guest speaker tonight in Abdullah's etymology class, Kemitu Bey, coming down from New York. He's going to challenge us tonight to take a mental breath. And a mental breath, you don't do it with your nose and mouth. You do a mental breath with your eyes and your ears. And when you need to come up with questions, when you need to come up with air, they come in the form of questions. So, the topic tonight, etymology and finance, a comprehensive view in the new slave trade. Part two. So without further ado, here's your guest speaker tonight. Let's give him a round of applause. Kemitu Bey.
Good evening. Yes, it's going to be a very exciting evening. I wish we had 3 hours because it's a lot of information. What I want to try to do is really go back to the beginning and give like an overview, but I think what we're going to try to do...
No, you can.
Huh?
Yes.
You can?
Yes.
All right, so we can cut this off for a second. We can roll up the screen. And let me give you, if we have your mark, we have the markers, right?
Yeah, that
Yes, you know. All right, let me put the screen up there. Thanks. Thanks, Robert.
You want the screen up?
Yeah. All right, y'all. All right, y'all. If you took your notes, the last time we was going over this, very important. You're with me?
Yes.
Or you're sleeping?
Nope.
No sleeping time. Sleeping time is over.
SIVE. You cool, SIVE. Oh, comprehension.
Oh, comprehensive.
30.
View. All right.
I got some deep complex.
That is funny.
I see this.
Real quickly, we want to just have an overview, just to keep people up to speed. Oh my goodness. Excuse me. What I want to do is we're going to put up the word person. Remember what that is?
Mm-hmm. Citizen or resident.
Well,
Citizen,
remember.
subsidiary of the United States.
Yeah, but we want to look at this factor to be construed, right, as what? Corporation, right? You with me? Association?
Partnership.
Say it again?
Partnership.
Partnership?
Trust.
That's right. Trust,
Excuse me,
estate, right?
Company,
Yes, company,
individual,
and that's a financial word too, you know. Individual, right? Individual. Anything else? I got something else to show y'all. Ready?
Subject,
That's true too. Stock. Certificate. All right, because see, this definition that I just gave you up here at the top is what they have under title. So you know where it's coming from. 26, that's the Internal Revenue Code, right? United States Code. And that's 7701. And that deals with what? Definitions. In reference to the code. All right? But what I'm doing, which is not in the code, right, for person, is I'm going to be adding some more, and I'm going to show you how all that ties into person. So we got individual, which is a financial term, stock, certificate, right, note, right? Yes, correct. Obligation, obligations, bond, right? We can put down commitment. We can stop there. I can say etc. All right, all this will fall up on the person. All right, they didn't put individual stock. I could put joint stock, which would be a marriage, like in partnership, certificate, note, obligations, bond, commitments, and it's much more. All right, and all that can be construed for a person. All right, because the main construct for the word person is this word right here. All right? And then you can see all the relationships with this word corporation, because you have associations or associated corporations or subsidiary corporations, all right? Or the association can stand alone as a corporation. Of course, you have partnerships and corporations. You got corporate trusts, estates as corporations, companies, all right? Individual, stock, certificate, note, obligation, bond, and commitments, and of course, and so forth. And all those definitions that we gave, right, would all considered to be construed as a person. Any questions? Very important. Any questions?
no.
I think it's important. I want to make sure that this is clear.
corporation and person thing.
See, what happened again, so you know what's going on, that person or persona is really a gender. Or when it came to the English language, what they did is they knocked off the word gender and gave you a noun. And of course, the noun, which we know as a person, place, right? Thing, which constitute, look at this, that's the corporate or the corpus, you follow me? The corpus, you know what the corpus is, right? Body, all right? You with me?
Yes.
I just want to break this thing down so you can see what's going on. Now, when it comes to the place, they're talking about real, what? Property. When it comes to the thing, they're talking about personal property. I just want you to see what's going on. All right? Because this right here is a lecture all by itself. But we're going to move on. We're not going to stay here all day all evening, I should say. Just with person. But what they did is they remove the gender, which is masculine and feminine, hit you with the noun, right? And then tell you that a noun is a person, place, or thing. So they can create a corpus or a body, politic, right? A place, which is real property, a thing, which is personal property. So all this would constitute what they would call property, all right? Just by removing the gender, the feminine A, which is in persona, all right? Because persona really is referring to your soul. That's your persona, your soul. Because that resonates with your persona, your soul. That's resonate. Like the soul, Latin word for what?
Son.
Doesn't it resonate?
Yes.
You follow me what I'm saying?
Yes.
So you can get an idea what's going on. So they removed this natural part of nature to create this body politic, this corpus, all right? So that way they can have control over the person. Now, let me share something else with you. There's a book that I brought tonight. It's called Alienable Rights. All right? You have it?
Got it.
Got it? It's called Alienable Rights. You with me? Serious book. Got this book for $5, right? Oh, and by the way, these are two Harvard professors, Francis D. Adams and Barry Sanders. And Francis D. Adams and Barry Sanders. All right? And in the back of the book it says, in a devastating narrative that spans more than 3 centuries, the authors maintain that the drive for African American equality has never had the support, of the majority of Americans. Despite the great racial upheaval of the Civil War and the Reconstruction period, and the federal government's attempts to give quote-unquote blacks the rights to vote, hold office, own land, or enjoy full citizenship, Jim Crow and separate but equal became a law of the land. And the spectacular gains of the civil rights era of the 1960s were followed by the discouraging backlash in the 1980s. Racial progress was made only in brief historical bursts when a committed militant minority abolitionist radical Republican civil rights activists stirred the nation, pressuring it to change. Chapter 3, which is called The Dark Side of the Constitution, is what we're going to look at. All right, it's called The Dark Side of the Constitution. Tell you why I want to read chapter 3 tonight, because of this word. And this is what these guys say. This is at the Constitutional Convention of 1787. We had 55 delegates to give you an idea what's going on. And listen to what it says here. When you assemble a number of men to have the advantage of their joint wisdom, you inevitably assemble all of their prejudice, their passions, their errors of opinions, their local interests, and their selfish views. That's Benjamin Franklin, 1787. A covenant with death and an agreement with hell. That's William Lloyd Garrison, 1845. The 55 delegates who convened in May 1787 at the State House in Philadelphia would have no need of Naturalization Act to recognize their countrymen. Having assembled to revive and strengthen the federal government, they would be representing only the nation white population. While the Southern slaves clearly would be on the delegates' minds throughout the convention, the document they finally approved gave blacks absolutely nothing. Certainly, none of the universal natural rights of the Declaration of Independence asserted anyone had at birth, and not even the narrow protection slaves were given by the French in Louisiana under the Code Noir. The Code Noir French word is where we get the word
Just for class.
black code from. All right, this comes from the French. in English, so you know what's going on. But you gotta hear this, because it relates to the word person. Gotta hear this. Exactly what transpired in the Constitutional Convention, which means what took place there. Deliberations remained secret for 50 years, not because the delegates felt a need to hide the way in which they dealt with the nation's blacks. Few white Americans have objected, but because they wanted to minimize any appearances of conflict, which they feared would jeopardize ratifications in 1840. However, the precise details of what had gone on behind the closed doors in Philadelphia became public. Ending the voluntary silence, the members had voted unanimously to impose in 1787 at the convention. The delegates had appointed an official secretary who took careful notes, But James Madison, who also kept his own even more detailed records. Friends repeatedly urged him to publish his account, but he insisted that it remained private until all of the framers had died. The framers of the Constitution, that is. In 1836, Madison, the last surviving member of the convention, passed away, and his notes of debates in the Federal Convention of 1787 was released 4 years later. Its publication shocked many of his countrymen, not because Madison's account showed that slavery had been an issue at the convention, but because it revealed that slavery had been the delegates' overriding preoccupations. Slavery prompted most of every serious disagreement. Disagreements that the delegates managed to resolve only because Northerners and Southerners alike were willing to trample on the human rights of the nation's black population. Once the convention deliberations became public, the abolitionists angrily condemned the proceedings. In 1845, William Lloyd Garrison described the Constitution as a covenant with death and an agreement with hell, inhumane, unjust, and affronting to God and man. Frederick Douglass echoed, one who may choose to dismiss Garrison and his followers as an extremist. After all, they argue not just for emancipation, but for immediate abolition, and rejected anything less than an all-out attack on slaveholders. All right? Show you what's going on. Show you what's going on. I don't see if you'll see the connection, but I'll make the connection for you so you can see what's going on. But even the moderate life of the Reverend Samuel J. May, who Madison's notes had discovered him, I could not so easily maintain my ground in the discussions which afterwards agitated so seriously the abolitionists themselves. Some maintaining that the Constitution was and was intended to be pro-slavery. Another of Garrison's colleagues, Wendell Phillips, scrutinized the notes and concluded, that a compromise was made between slavery and freedom, granting to the slaveholders distinct privileges and protections for his slave property in return for certain commercial concessions upon his part towards the North. Phillips believed that the North and South had entered into a malicious bargaining willingly and with open eyes, and thus the free enslaved states were partners, remember? Partners in the guilt and responsible for the sin of slavery. Though Madison's notes reveal, now this is the part that we have to pay close attention to because it's going to reflect what we got up on the board. Though Madison's notes reveal that members of the convention spoke freely about slaves, blacks, and Negroes, the final form of the Constitution voided these words, cryptically referring to African Americans as persons. You hear that? This is the 1787, y'all, convention. Now that same word persons, this is what they use. All right? And this was at the convention. This is what it said. To avoid these words cryptically, referring to African Americans as persons or persons held to serve, service, or labor, as Abraham Lincoln later observed, the delegate hid away slavery in the Constitution, just as an afflicted man hides away his wean or cancer, which he dares not cut out. All right? All right. In Congress, under the Articles of Confederation, the nation first attempt at the Constitution because William Patterson of New Jersey, who later became a Supreme Court justice, noted the members had been ashamed to use the term slave. Many delegates to the Philadelphia Convention had similar qualms when one of them included the phrase importation of slaves. Now, where you get that term from is Article 1, Section 9, Clause 1. All right, that's dealing with immigration. All right, that's from the national or the federal Constitution. All right, so you can be, for the reference point, if anybody look it up for references.
What was that, Article 1?
That's Article 1, Section 9, Clause 1. Article 1, Section 9, Clause 1. When it talks about importation of slaves. And the proposal of the African slave trade, Roger Sherman of Connecticut asks that it be changed, indicating that it preferred a description better than the terms proposed, which had been declined by the old Congress and were not pleasing to some people. Nearly 40 years later, Martin Luther of Maryland remained mortified by the convention's hypocrisy. Though the delegates had anxiously sought to avoid omission of expression which might be odious to the ears of the Americans, he wrote, they were willing to omit into their system those which the expression signified. So basically what we see here, again, is that they codify or cryptic the word, right, person, or they use the word person to crypt the word slave, blacks, or Negroes. And this, again, was at the Constitutional Convention of 1787. Again, this is from a book called Alienable Rights. All right, the author is called Francis D. Adams and Barry Sanders. All right, this is where it's coming from, so you'll get an idea of what's going on in reference to the etymology and finance, a comprehensive view, and the new slave trade. Now, what I'm going to have to do is tie your end into what's going on today. Because last time I was here, which was part 1, we was dealing with what you call commercial paper. You remember?
Mm-hmm. Yes.
And this is what we're going to set it off at. Commercial paper. All right? All right? You can remember, you took your notes? Very important.
Peace, come on.
Very important. You remember what cause was the acronym of?
Certificate of
Automobile receivables? All right. Assignments. Certificates. Bonds. Cereals. right?
Deeds.
Deeds, that's right. Trust,
Mutual funds.
true. Your judgment,
Commitments.
MUT,
oh,
MUTUAL. UAL. AL. Mutual.
I'm
Mutual.
having a mental block, mutual funds. Judgments, that's right. Dockets,
Dockets.
having a block.
Debentures.
All right, indentured, and debentured. So you know what's going on. Somebody said application?
Yes.
That's correct. All right, all these are derivatives. All right,
Derivatives.
You said warrants also?
yeah, that's correct. That's correct.
And then credit cards up there.
Yeah,
Liens.
that's correct. So you get the idea.
Commitments.
Yes, commitments, that's right. So, this is commercial paper, which is also another way of saying
Shadow.
chattel paper. All right? Now what happened, oh, this is the big figure right here. This is the key right here. This is what caused you to be in the problem. That's right. Endorsements. Because every single last one of these derivatives right here is going to be endorsed. True?
True.
All these derivatives that you see here, that's chattel paper. Oh man. I gotta put this up here.
Oh, yeah.
That's number one.
Yeah,
Oh, yeah.
yeah, that's what it starts off with.
Death certificate. Marriage certificate.
All right,
We don't see contracts.
all right.
Contract agreement.
True, true. But I definitely wanted to get those up there because I want to show the connection, because the way it starts from is birth. And of course, people get married, some people don't. But regardless if you get married or not, end up
Yeah.
at the end as death. All right? So I just want you to see what's going on.
Is that what investors are investing?
Say it again. The mic? The mic? That's what you got your finger all over?
When we hear in investment channels, they're talking about investing. That's what they're investing in, right?
That's correct.
All right.
That's correct. These are all investment instruments.
Yep.
All right? And we all connected to this somewhere or the other. Like for instance, I'll give you an example. If you look up the word, stub. Right? We're gonna look up the word stub. If you get the word stub, let me know. Alright. This is some research that I pulled off the line. I had to read through this stuff to see if this is correct. There's a lot of information that's put online. And of course, you have to really be well learned and read in this field to really know what materials are very relevant and what materials are not. So this here was excellent. All right, I can't recall, this is some years ago research that I had did research on, and this got to do with the structure of the birth certificate to give me an idea what's going on. At the bottom of the birth certificate, mostly the ones that's here, foreign birth certificates, I'm not sure, but of course they are being used as notes too. But at the bottom of the birth certificate, you will see what it says, bank. See, bank. Right here, bank. What it says? Can you see it?
No, I can't see it. You wear glasses.
Stop teasing me. Don't be playing with me. Yes,
American Bank Notes Company.
exactly. That's at the bottom of the birth certificate. This is how you know these people are selling you. You see the word stub? S-U-B? S-T-U-B? You see it, right?
Stub.
Stub or
Stub.
stuff?
Stub.
Oh.
S-T-U-B, like you said.
Okay.
You don't see it? Stub is not in there? Oh. Throw me to the floor with that.
Well, he's-
I know I looked it up.
Sorry.
It's all right. And I just went, all right, she has the mic? Yeah, you can pass up front. Yeah. I just want, this is, by the way, pardon me. This is an etymology, pardon me. This is an etymology dictionary. I highly recommend that when we get dictionaries, try to make sure there's an etymology dictionary. This is a Webster's New World. So she's going to read the word stub, S-T-U-B, but you want to go inside the etymology brackets. It's really only one word that's going to describe it. You go in there and you see it. You see it?
Middle English, derived from Old English, akin to,
What's that?
what's O-N?
Old Norse.
No, yeah,
Mhm.
Old Norse, yeah.
Old Norse.
Old Norse, yeah.
For Indo-European root-based seed stock.
See that again? So when you get a pay stub from your job, the etymology for your pay stub is stock, which is what I got up on the board. You follow me? People was being looked upon as stock. You follow me? So what they did was because of the conventional form of slavery that we were subjugated at one time, because of the rebellion that went on, they wanted to be able to make this slave trade more tangible, less, how would I say it? True.
Abstract.
Not so much abstract. It's true in a sense, but obvious. But what they did is they sophisticated it. They sophisticated it to a point where now they're using paper instead of using you as the chattel. You now become the collateral. Remember, you was the chattel. Check this out. You was the chattel, right? Which is what we know as the cattle. All right? So, look at it now.
Collateral.
The chattel or the cattle became the collateral. So now the people is being used as collateral. Now, it's your endorsement, your signature on these contracts, these commercial papers. What makes you the collateral? All right? I'm going to go over that in detail later, but I'm going to get to this birth certificate, the structure of the birth certificate. A certificate is a paper establishing ownership or claim. Matter of fact, the word paper, when you look that up in law, means commercial. If you go to a Black's dictionary, look up the word paper, it means commercial. And establish ownership. That's from Barron's Dictionary of Banking Terms. Registration of births began in 1915 by the Bureau of Census, with all states adopting the practice by 1933. Now you know why by 1933, because the last time we was here, part one, is because the bankruptcy took what? Everything into receivership. That's why I said earlier, during that class, whatever state you're domiciled in, you need a certified copy of the bankruptcy from the historical society from that state. So whatever the capital of that state is, like for instance, we in Philly,
Harrisburg.
that's where the archives most likely will be at. If you're in Jersey, it would be in Trenton. If you're in New York, of course, it would be in Albany. All right? You get a certified copy of the bankruptcy because they declared bankruptcy. They took everything into receivership. So all the judges are sitting on the bench are what you call sitting in receivership. They're sitting in receivership. So let me show you something. say this is a commonwealth?
Yes.
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 All right, so you would say the commonwealth of PA, right? That's the caption. That's the caption. Versus, do it like this. Give you an idea. We'll leave the sisters out. That's the caption. They can put down here, I'm sure you've seen this before. Petitioner, right?
Yes.
You've seen this before, right?
Yes.
Right?
Yes.
You'll see this before. You'll see
Defendant.
give you an idea what's going on. Right?
Yes.
So you can get an idea what's going on. The minute the performer comes in, it's always this. That's exactly what it is. What I'm saying, family, this is what it is. That's why I told you last time in a nutshell, by what's law? Get the book called Creditor-Debtor Law. Because ever since the bankruptcy, everything went into a creditor-debtor system. All right? So you can really cross this out. This is the height. All right? And this is the real issue. Because the court is running a business. You follow me? The court is running a business. But if they put plaintiff or petitioner, defendant or respondent, it doesn't look like they're running a business. But if once you see creditor debtor, automatically it would invoke your thought to say, oh, wow, they're running a business here. You follow me? You're with me?
Yes.
So check this out. It says here, birth and marriage certificates are a form of securities. All right? Securities are remember earlier we was going to a psych, right? Securities are this. Bonds. All right? Because earlier I put down there bondholder, slaveholder. So you can get an idea what's going on. So you know that securities are bonds, right?
Yes.
All right? Called warehouse receipts. The item included in the warehouse receipt is described in the Uniform Commercial Code, Article 7, subsection 202. That's Article 7, Section 202, 7-202. The code which governs commercial paper. You follow me? That's the code that governs commercial paper and transactions, which parallel a birth or marriage certificate are the location of the warehouse where the goods are stored, the date of issue of the receipt, the consecutive number of the receipt found on the back or front of the certificate, usually in red numbers, like the Social Security card, on the back you see red numbers, right? The signature of the warehouse man, which may be made by an authorized agent, municipal clerk, or state registrar, right, or signature. Birth, marriage certificates now appear to at least qualify as warehouse receipts under the Uniform Commercial Code. Black's Law Dictionary 7th edition defines warehouse receipt. A warehouse receipt, which is considered a document of title. You hear that? Title. It's another factor. Another factor.
So
Warehouse receipt, give me a second, which is considered a document of title, may be a negotiable instrument, and is often used for financing with inventory as security. Since the U.S. went bankrupt in 1933, all new money has been to be borrowed into existence, all states started issuing serial number certificates warehouse received for births and marriages in order to pledge, that's another word you should be looking up too. Put that in your vocabulary, is pledge. It's called pledging. All right, you know how you pledge allegiance to the flag? All right, to that commercial maritime admiralty is what it is, because all he's dealing with bonds. Matter of fact, let me put this up here too. Statutes. Statutes are bonds. You know how they use different statutes in court against you? Those are bonds. Most people don't realize that. Matter of fact, if you want to be real fly, that same archive up at the state archives, historical, you can get, like for instance, I'll give you an example. Say for instance, there's a statute here in PA that they use against you for traffic or criminal or whatever. You can go to that historical society where they archive these legislation, and you can get a copy of that statute. It may be on bond paper, and they will sign off on you and certify it. And you can take that as your bond and file it into your case. Most people don't know that. This is some serious stuff. We're going to move on because we may have to have part 3. Because listen, time is short. You know what I'm saying? And I got a lot of information to drop on. Yes. Somebody else had a question too.
Just real fast.
Yes.
Once you do that, you do that move you just said.
We do.
Will they dismiss your case based on that bond paper that you presented to the court?
No. What happens is that indemnifies you, which means that. See, what happens is they're looking for liquidation. You follow me? So once you give them something to liquidate, see what they do. See what I'm saying is, if you get that bond, see earlier I wrote up on the board collateral. Remember? Who was the collateral?
You.
We were.
We were. We are.
Yeah, we are.
We are. You know what I'm saying? So what I'm saying is that you want to remove yourself as the collateral and put the bond as the collateral. You follow me?
Right.
So if you put the bond as the collateral, then that would something that it would be liquidated. If you don't put up a bond, right, then they're going to use you as a collateral. So what they do is they do what they call as underwriting. This is why this book is so important. This is what I brought last time, remember? By Alan Preston. Chapter 7. You have to forgive me because this is really.
What you said a minute ago was like.
Say it again? I'm sorry about that. Say it again?
His name is what?
I need it now. But he can't say anything.
He said he don't want it.
No. He needs it. Yeah.
Because of what that he can't speak.
Yes, at your word, brother.
You said you were going to move forward.
I'm not making up what you're saying.
Can you hear me? Can you hear me?
Yeah, speak up a little louder.
Yeah, you said something earlier about going to the archives
Yes, the state archives.
and getting.
Like for instance, if there's a statute
Right.
to help you.
Right.
Say for instance, you be in charge with a certain statute.
Right.
All right. The state archives have those statutes. Archives. Those statutes, what I'm saying to you, are bonds.
Right.
Where you find that information at, because any information I'm giving you is all been research information.
Right.
All right. The best book for that information is the 5th edition Black's Law. Me and Abdullah was in Cleveland, Ohio, a couple of months back. Did a lecture out there, and we was at the law library because each state I go to do a lecture, first place I stop is law library. Pull out all the information so that way I can bring it to our brothers and sisters so they can see what's going on. So I was walking him through the 5th edition of the Black's Law Dictionary, and he see where the statutes are bonds. You follow me? Because most people don't know that these statutes are bonds. All right? Some statutes are limitations. Like for instance, say for instance you've been charged with a statute. If you do research on that statute, you have to find out when it was enacted, all right? And when was the statute of limitations, because they have to reenact these statutes, keep them active. You know, like the civil rights statute law had, remember, the statute of limitation ran out? I don't know if all of you remember that, but that's not just for the civil rights statute. All those statutes fall up under the same category. They all have a statute of limitations because they, see, bonds mature. You follow me? You're with me? Huh? No?
Yes. Yes.
Oh.
Yes.
So what I'm saying is bonds have statutes of limitations. So when those statutes of limitations, either they're gonna reenact those bonds, or they may come up with a new law, a new bond, all right? Depending on the politics of the country, all right? So you can have an idea what's going on. But the point is that all those bonds, all those statutes are all underwritten as securities. This is the reason I put docket up here, so you can see what's going on. Yes?
So what I'm realizing is what you're saying is as persons, commercial paper and chattel paper, all these bonds and all these, which you said means also you quoted as you just quoted as what did you quoted as a bond?
Collateral.
Yes, collateral. Yes, collateral, yes.
So basically, as a person similar to that, is he saying they're keeping all these things alive by the dates of those and when they mature.
What they do, Noble, so you'll be clear about it, is they underwrite these bonds,
Right.
these commercial paper. This is the reason why I'm showing you Chapter 7, underwriting private placements. All right, this is again securities law compliance. So they underwrite these instruments. All right, the key is underwriting. There was a brother who was in my class in the National Black Theater. All right, he's a detective, right? He's a Moor. And one day he went to the DA's office to get some information. So he was standing by one of the DA assistants who was writing up some charges. I was dropping information in the class, but based upon what I was dropping, he put two and two together, and he looked down over her shoulder, and he seen that she was what? Underwriting the bonds on a case. So what I'm saying is, if you in court to end that issue instead of prolonging it, you say, listen, I need the invoice. I know you're underwriting these instruments, and they can now interpret the charges. They're doing business, but they're going to make it look like as though we all in court. You follow me? When they really holding business. Why you think the first time I was here, for this first class here, I said to you all, you'll need a corporate negative search. Remember that? Because then a lot of stuff is going to start making sense. The purpose of the corporate negative search, because you will find out in the corporate negative search that your name, right? John Doe, Jane Doe, when you do a corporate negative search in that name, you will find from the Secretary of State, from whatever state you're domiciled, when you put that in for whatever fee that you pay for that certificate, they will say that there's no such corporation on file under the name of. They will say that. You can use that document to kill any case. Because remember, the court is doing business. I got a case right now going on in Connecticut. I'm slaughtering them right now. Simple information, not complex. I try to bring the most complex stuff in a more simple form because none of my brothers and sisters are really teaching this. They're not teaching this. I'm around a lot of brothers and sisters. None of them know this language. But how I begin to start learning this language, because Article 3 of the Federal Constitution says judicial authority shall extend in all cases in what? Law and equity. So what I do? Study what? Equity. Law and equity. All right? If you're in front of a judge, he's sitting on what? Which is a Latin word for bank. What I'm saying to you, family, don't let that judge pass any laws against you if he doesn't know any banking laws. You have to look up his dossier, his background. They have it online for those judges. They have it. You can look up their dossier and see what kind of education they have. If they don't have banking, he doesn't really qualify to sit on the bench because the bench means bank. So how could he be a banker and don't know banking? Simple stuff. We're not even talking about complex stuff. I give you simple resolutions to your problems. So again, certified corporate negative search in your name. Then you get together an affidavit of corporate denial. They have to be structured. But usually when you do affidavit of corporate denial, you have to use 26 U.S.C. 7701. Why? It's dealing with what? Definitions. Remember? You took your notes down last time before, remember? And remember what it says about person? I'll read it again. The term person shall be construed to mean and include an individual, a trust, estate, partnership, association, company, or corporation. Now, where are you at in that?
Corporation.
You're nowhere in there. Natural person is not defined here. All right? And this is the Internal Revenue Code, 26 U.S.C. 7701 for definition. So what I'm saying is when you structure your affidavit, you have to use language that they use. And you'll be surprised how they're going to respond. There was a Moor who called me from Indianapolis, Indiana. They want me to come out there in the law library because I got to understand the statute. But he's having an IRS problem, right? So the Moor asked me, what can he do? I told him more simple. But it's only simple if you're listening clearly and follow instructions. It's simple. People is making this stuff complex. They come with all this patriotic material. That's garbage.
Sorry about that.
It's simple. I said to the brother, first of all, he had a tax warrant, right? I said, did you get a hearing? He says, no, I didn't get a hearing. I said, did you know under Title V of the United States Code that deals with administration, every state office have an Administrative Procedure Act. It's called Notice and Opportunity to be Heard. So what they just do is they just levy you, which means they're going to undertake whatever assets you have. They'll shut it down on you. I told him what he have to do. I said, first of all, call up the agency, let them know, listen. Oh, I said, first of all, before you call the agency, look up the state administrative code for that state you in, Indiana. There's a statute that says you're entitled to a hearing. Cite the statute. See, a lot of these people who works in these offices, they're only going by procedure. They're not going by statutory law. So what I do, like the prophets say, which is Noble True Ali for those who don't know, give the European back his Christianity. That's what I do. I look up his Christian codes and give it back to him. And you'd be surprised how simple it is. So when I told the brother what to do, and he did it, and he couldn't believe it, I said, listen, tell him to put a stay on that levy until the hearing is over. Why? Because in the Indiana Code, and I looked this up now, in the Indiana Code, there's a flat tax rate of 3.4, right, on taxpayers, right? I couldn't really go into it more with him because when you're not that versed, it's really not that easy to try to get people to comprehend what you're talking about. So I try to give him something as simple as possible without being entangled, all right, where I have to detangle his entanglement. So he has a federal income tax issue that's not been resolved. But when you look at the statute and the Indiana Code, it specifically says that their tax flat rate is depending on the adjusted gross income. The adjusted gross income is federal. If you're having a federal problem, how could they determine what your tax is and make a levy on you if you didn't resolve your federal tax yet? All state taxes is predicated upon federal. Simple.
Portion.
So he's going to automatically get a halt on that. All right? And he can claim damages. But I'm walking him through that process.
Pennsylvania, they mailed me a letter that said, this letter constitute a hearing. And in Pennsylvania, I looked up courts and procedures. It states that no adjudication is valid unless each party has a chance to submit evidence, cross-examine,
That's correct.
and all proceedings must be
That's under the Administrative
stenographically
Procedure Act.
recorded.
That's correct. That's correct. Every state has an administrative law. You have administrative and you have judicial. But if they're not operating judicially, right, they're operating administratively. So that means you have to look under the administrative law. It's simple stuff, y'all. You don't have to really
Simple.
more size the document or whatever how you want to put it. It's just simple stuff. All right? Because
Super
not every
simple.
of our people is going to see themselves as Moors. All right? I keep it real. You know what I'm saying? Some people just don't see it, but our people still need help regardless.
Right.
Yes.
Two things. Corporate negative search, I forgot last week.
Yes. Mike? There you
The
go.
corporate negative search?
Yes.
Where do we go to do that?
Well,
I forgot.
it's the Secretary of State.
Do you just want us to go and Google in the state itself and just,
You can do that. You can
For
order the
corporate
corporate negative
search.
search online.
Right.
And pay with your card and all that online. There's people who've done that.
okay, but you can just do that for free? You can
I
just,
don't know about that.
You can just search for,
No, what I'm saying is, you can search any corporation.
Right.
And get that. But what I'm saying is, when you see
what are you saying that we should get?
it's certified, you want the state to say that there's no such John Doe or Jane Doe in the corporations of index, is what it's called. That's what it's called, the corporation of index. Under the they call it again? The business corporation law. All right, I forgot what section it is, but it's called the corporation of index. You're not under the corporation of indexes.
Okay.
You follow me? But you want a certified copy of it.
Okay.
Because the state is going to say that you're not in existence to do business. Because every state statute, you have to have registered with the state to do business. That's what I'm killing MERS right now in Connecticut.
Right.
The judge was eating the bank's attorney up. My client didn't really have to say anything. Because I drafted everything on the paper. And when the judge was reading it, she says, counsel, MERS is dissolved since 1979. So how did it transfer as a nominee from one lender to another lender if they dissolve their corporation? And according to Connecticut statute, they got to be registered.
Exactly.
You see what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So we killing them with that.
Mhm.
Simple stuff, y'all. Simple. Yes.
And the second thing was when they in the courtroom ask you to, do you understand? They're asking you.
Well, that's an understatement. You don't never say you understand.
They're asking
you.
you.
Give them jurisdiction when you say that.
They're asking you to stand under the statute.
That's true.
That's what they're asking you.
Yeah, because under means below or subject to.
Which is the bond,
Mm-hmm.
which is making you chattel property. Just adding to what you said.
That's true. That's true. Yes.
Okay, once we receive this we do this corporate negative search and also secure the certified duplicate of the state's bankruptcy,
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
right?
Those are two different solutions now.
I know that.
There's the two different solutions that I gave y'all.
Okay.
All right.
Well, let's deal with the certified duplicate of the state bankruptcy.
Of the bankruptcy, since
Now-
1933.
Right. So you mentioned before that you need an affidavit to go along with that.
True.
But so do you have to get a separate one for each,
No.
or can
See,
you make a
li-
copy
I
of
do
that
bankruptcy.
certification?
I do bankruptcy cases. Listen to me carefully. Let me share something with y'all that you need to see. Let me show you how effective this is. Every agency has a protocol. What I do is just use their protocol. I don't make up something. I just use what they got. And believe it or not, when they see it, they're gonna see that this theirs. When they see something that's not theirs, they say, oh, that's some self-style, whatever situation, and they ignore it. I don't do stuff like that. I just assimilate what they got, give them right back what they got. So what I'm saying is that, to make it simple for you, when you file bankruptcy, you have to do what you call as a credit matrix. A credit matrix means you have to list all your creditors. You follow me? And that's what you do. You just list your creditor, the account, the amount, and the address. You follow me?
Yes.
And you do that for every single creditor. You follow me?
Yes.
And so you have the certificate. That's in your possession. And how many creditors you have on that credit matrix, you make the duplicate copies from that certificate that you have in your possession. Because remember now, you're the bureau. So you holding the certificate. So if you got 10 creditors, you make 10 copies. You follow me? And you attach that bankruptcy certificate from the state to whatever creditor that it's going to.
Okay.
But when you send it registered mail. Why? Because register is a bond. When you send it to that creditor,
Oh, okay.
you send it to them registered mail. Not certified mail, registered mail, because that is a bond. Oh, they know. Because they got law departments and all those agencies.
Okay, so the second part of the question was, what happens after they get it, number one, and number two, doing all this, we're getting rid of all of this debt, that's the bottom line, if that's correct?
You can't get rid of none of the debt because, again,
You're not obligated.
19, thank you. 19, see, I hear people say, oh, I discharged this and I discharged. I said, that's not true. Y'all didn't discharge anything. Where you get this language from? I already read it to y'all. Section 138 of the debtor creditor law. It says, debtor to state and debtor to the United States, not to be discharged. That title alone. What do that mean? Stop and think for a minute. When it says debtor to state and debtor to United States, not to be discharged. Did you know that that word debtor to state and debtor to United States, you know what that is? That's 14th Amendment language. Because in the 14th Amendment, you see the word state and the United States. All persons. Persons. Right? So they're using you as a collateral by your endorsement. The worst thing we can do is endorse it. Why do you think when I get a money order or a check, I would never sign my name? What you're supposed to do is say deposit only. Nobody in here is supposed to sign their name on no check, not even your paycheck. Because they're going to use that against you. That's a liability. When you put your signature on any of these instruments, that's a liability. You follow me? So it's very important. I'm coming, family. I'm coming.
I know what I
All
want
right,
to say.
hurry up. Because remember now, we got 40 minutes.
Will
9
you?
o'clock, we out of here.
Will you get? Will you?
And I got something else to show y'all.
Will you get a document saying that your whatever debt was forgiven from like via, like I said, 1099 or something like that?
Let me tell you what you have to do. You can implicate your own from their protocol. You're not making up your own. It's from their protocol, and I understand what you're asking.
Okay.
This is what you do. You do your credit matrix, right? You got the bankruptcy document. You get a UCC-1. You put them as the debtor. You put yourself as the creditor. All right? You have to register that, but there's a box. There's an acknowledgement box on UCC because the UCC-1 is a transmitting utility. All right? Because remember, they're using you as a transmitting utility by your endorsements, right? So the UCC-1 is the document that you're going to use, and you put the name of the creditor on the credit matrix. Within that box, all that information, the account number and everything in that same box, right? They're the debtor, you're the secure party. Why? To the bankruptcy. Because what happened is that bankruptcy document becomes the tender. That's the tender. You're not discharging anything. That's the tender. Joint House Resolution 192 is not a discharge. I keep hearing people say that. That's not true. That's the legal tender. That's when they kill. That's an unconstitutional legislative statute for tender. Because the Constitution already tell you what the tender is. The tender is gold and silver for the payments of debt. That's what it says. Article 1, Section 10, U.S. Constitution. You can read it. State shall make no, but gold and silver coins as a tender for payment for debt. That's what it says there. So, but they declared bankruptcy in 1933. So they took your ability to tender with gold and silver, right? So what are they telling you? They're tendering, what are they tendering now? This is what they're tendering.
Notes.
They're tendering notes. You follow me? That's what they're tendering. That's why I always keep telling people that when you went to the closing at the table and you endorsed that note, you tendered your payment. Your payment was already paid. That's another class, which means the obligation is not yours as the United States. It's the U.S. obligation. There's statutes that show you that the United States is the
Obligated.
Yes. So they pay 90% of your loan. You pay the other 10%. And you did it at the table, but that's another lecture. What the banks did under conversion is put you under a 30-year mortgage. That's conversion and trespass. But a lot of people don't know that. But that's another lecture. Now, again, I will show you the sources, the resources, the information. This is not something I'm just telling you. This is information that's been researched. Like I said, I'm a beast at this. I don't be playing. These crackers, they're wicked. You know what I'm saying? They wicked, so I got to be in it. I'm trying to help my people. You know what I'm saying? I got no time to be debating this dude on YouTube and that dude on YouTube. Because people be calling me, yo, man, you see Sarnetta's TV? This one, garbage. I'm not downing it for the enlightenment. That's good. But the debate, back in the days when I was growing up, with John Henry Clark and Dr. Ben and all of them, they was debating them devils. We debating each other. Something wrong with that. I didn't grow up with that. Why all of a sudden we debating each other? We want to trump each other. I'm not down for that.
Exactly.
You know what I'm saying? No.
That's an agent.
Debate these people. Who's putting this? Debate that. Understand that. If you want to debate the bankruptcy. What they doing to our people. Debate that. Going to them universities. Debate them. None of them doing that. They're on 125th Street debating, bothering the poor Hebrew Israelites. You know, I have no time for that. Sis, you finished? Because I know you can be here all night, but...
No, I'm not. I'm not.
You know what I'm saying? I know you got questions, but...
Money order endorses put deposit on.
Deposit on. Let me hit you with something I'm about to drop on you right now. I'll tell you what the Jews are doing. The Jews are taking over people's property all over the country, and they're putting LLCs on it. Like, for instance, one of my clients, right? He's my mortgage brother too. They took over the building and they put 1550 McCoon's LLC. So when he was paying his rent, let me tell you what these wicked Jews did. Matter of fact, I should have brought that in and showed it to you. Let me tell you what I tell this brother to do. And y'all can do the same thing. Simple stuff, y'all. This is not hard. This is not complex. Simple stuff. It's so simple as a damn shame. That's how simple it is. He paid his rent with money order. That's the best way you pay your rent. Don't pay with no check. Pay with a money order. All right? And when I say money order, make sure that it's postal. Go postal. You know how they go postal? Go postal. On them. Let me show you something. These devils turned around, took him to court for 4 months' rent that they say that he didn't pay. He had proof that he paid. But I'm going to share something with you ain't going to believe what these devils is doing. What they did was, they didn't endorse the back of the money order. They stamped paid to the order of. So they rerouted the pay to the order of on the front of the money order, on the back of the money order. So it looks like he never paid his rent to 1515 LLC and went to another company. Yes. We're going to talk about that tonight. We're going to touch on that. I'm going to show you some science on that. All right? Because I texted somebody on my phone about that. They was blown away. So...
My question is, how you every month?
That's correct.
And
but let me tell you what he did. He went to the post office and got a copy of the postal money order that was deposited. Because they got to send it back to the post, because that's the instrument. And that's how he got to see the front and back, that they stamped at the back of the money order. I should have brought it in. Dang. I hate talking about stuff I can't show you. But I ain't down for that. You know what I'm saying? I ain't know he a certain person. I'll show you proof. When I speak on issues, I know 9 out of 10 I have proof of it. All right? Because they slaughter on our people back and forth. So I got to understand what's going on out there to be able to help. On the back of the money order, you'll see what it says pay to the order of. Now, you already know what pay to the order of is. You already know what that is. You follow me? So,
now, because this is a following property, so.
all right.
I'll put his name, and when it says paid to the order of his name, and then it says from, and I put my name. Instead of put my name from now on, I would just put for deposit only, and my address would just put the.
For him, if he's the depositor, that's what he would do. Because that is called, what you call as an assignment. That became a negotiable instrument. All right? I'm going to go over that. The time is, we got 45 minutes, so I really want to get on this and show you some stuff. Any other questions? Right over here. Islam.
Is this on? Can you hear me?
Yes, I can hear you.
All right. In regards to the corporate negative search or the corporation negative search,
Yes,
if it's gonna come back that we're not a registered corporation
that's correct.
in whatever territory that is,
That's correct.
what are they operating on that says that we are?
No, it's called, under Title 18, subsection 1001, it's called fraudulent conveyance of language.
That's fine.
All right, because this document, this commercial paper is called a vessel, and they're using words, which is language. So if the language is based upon conversion and it's sleight of hand, that's fraud. And that's basically what it is. It's fraudulent conveyance of language, Title 18, subsection 1001. That's the statute, that's a criminal offense.
Thank you, brother.
Y'all better talk to me. If you got questions.
How you get them on fraud charges? How would you
The,
get them on?
the FBI and the Department of Justice, you can file a complaint with them. All right? There's a website you can go on. You see it, you know, like financial crimes and all that. I look at all that stuff. I talk to them people. You know, they're doing, you know, they're gonna do the work for you. Questions? No questions?
Yeah, I tried to, well, I started a business and, due to a lack of a name to call my business, I just used my real name, LLC. I was wondering how that, relates.
Can you speak up a little louder for me? Because I'm hearing you, but I'm trying to acknowledge what you're saying, so speak a little louder.
Okay.
Thank you, appreciate it.
Okay, I'll start again. When I tried to, well, I started a business.
All right, that's what I heard.
And due to I didn't have a name to call it, I just called it my own name, LLC.
All right.
I'm trying to.
You use your name as an LLC.
Right.
All right, that would be proper.
Okay.
You know why?
No. And I was wondering if
Hold
I
on, brother.
would.
Hold on, brother. But I asked you a question. It's very important that you know why. Because what you're doing is you're taking yourself out of this status. Because I found this definition. The definition in Black's law, that's not the definition. The definition in the Dictionary of Financial Investment Terms, this book I told you about, remember? This book, you ain't gonna find it in there either, the definition. I mean, they don't give you a definition, but it's not. I found it under the Internal Revenue Code. 26 U.S.C. 165G. 26 U.S.C. 165G. That's what I found in that. Definition for taxpayer. You know what that means? That's what that means. That's what that means. Taxpayer means domestic corporation. Because the only one who's supposed to be taxed is the corporation, not the people. Remember, Article 1, Section 17 of the New York State Constitution, remember we read that before? It says that the labor of human beings is not an article of commerce nor a commodity and cannot be construed as such, which means they're using you as a usurper. That word. Usurper is referring to your labor. All right, this is what they do. All right, so that's the reason why, brother. As you were, that's the reason why. It'd be proper. Take your name, LLC it, trust it, as stated, whatever, and deal with it like that. Keep yourself out of the equation. You keep yourself private and put yourself into the public, but you put yourself in the public as an LLC. Take your name, Joe Blow, LLC. That's what the Jews are doing with the properties now. You should see how they operate. Matter of fact, my wife was working in some part of Brooklyn at the DMV. You all know what the Social Security numbers are for us, right? How many numbers, right? It's 9, right? The Jews got 7.
Oh, there's a lot of things they do.
The dude got 7. She was the one who told me that because she used to work for DMV. All right, 'cause when you see that's the reason why it's so important that when we get into government, we need to pay attention to what's going on, get the information, and give it back and give it to our people. You know what I'm saying? Everybody else is using the system but us.
They pay lawful money too, don't they?
Now, they using corporations, bro. You can't use lawful money.
I'm saying there's gonna be some show me.
Little brother, if you had lawful money, I wouldn't give it up either. If I had gold on me right now,
I mean, not lawful money.
this is what I'm saying, brother. This is what I'm saying. I'm telling everybody in this room, if you had gold and silver, you'd be a fool to use your gold and silver.
They've been wording it wrong, what I'm trying to say.
You follow me? Brother, let me finish, brother. I hear what you're saying, but you still need to get this information.
I got it.
I don't think you hear my information.
I heard you
Because
good.
what I'm saying is, I ain't finished yet. I can hear me.
Sounds good, everything sounds good so
I'll sit
far.
down and listen to you. I'm saying to you, family, if you got gold and silver, you need to do what you call, and this is what we have to learn, it's called letters of what? Of credit. Which means use your gold as collateral. You follow me? You never give up your gold. That's what they did in 1933. They wasn't bankrupt. That was on purpose. I tell anybody,
Right,
that
yeah.
bankruptcy was on purpose. You understand that, bro?
You know,
They did it on purpose. They did that because of what the Germans did in 1917. Trading with ENIAC, you know what was going on? When we had the silver certificates and the gold certificates, and you was purchasing stuff from Germany, Germany was giving you fiat money in place of gold certificates, silver certificates. So now they can go to the Federal Reserve, or the bank, I should say, and get the gold because there was no Federal Reserve at the time.
Responsibility.
You don't know, brother.
But-
you never had a responsibility.
Right.
You never had it. Let me drop another jewel on you since you brought that up. That's why I said, if you want the best out of me, talk to me. But I can talk about this all day long, walk out the door, and you ain't gonna know what the hell I'm talking about. But if you dialogue with me, you're gonna hear some stuff you never heard before. I should have brought that book with you. Called Family Law of the state of New York. There's a certain section under social service law, I can't remember the section. I couldn't believe it when I read it. Did you know that the Jews and the Japanese Americans are exempt from paying child support? Because they receive reparations because of war crimes against their humanity? I gotta get that information. I gotta go back and look at it. I don't know why I can't find it. But I read that in social service law. You got domestic relations law, family law, and social service law. Broken up in 3 parts. Called family law. And I came across that information, like I said, I read like nobody's business. Because I gotta understand what's going on. So I'll tell our brothers and sisters, first of all, when we was here last time, or the first time I should say, it's called parents betrayal. Remember?
Yeah.
Check this out. You have what you call a just sanguinis, which means right to blood. Right? That's why I always tell the brothers what's going on in the hospital, what you need to do to get your child, go get a DNA test and hold on to that. That's your proof. That supersedes what they're doing. When I'm saying a DNA test supersedes the birth certificate. You follow me? That's more powerful than the birth certificate. Birth certificate is just only writing down the description. Remember, it's a warehouse receipt. This is what I was reading earlier. But you have just sanguinis. Just solely and just sanguinis. This is why the Moors teach about nationality and birthright.
Could you break that down so I can not spell?
Yes. You wasn't here that time, right, brother? Oh, you was here.
Nah.
Yeah. Hold on. Parents, right? That word. Because the only thing they did was take off the T and put the letter S. Give you parents, right? And portray. All right? It said that the Attorney General, when you read it in the Black Law Dictionary, it says that the Attorney General is the parent. Right?
yeah.
So, they're the one who hold the obligation. But I'll be the first one to tell you, because most people don't know how to read their pay stub. If you read your pay stub, you come to find out that everybody in this room who's working and getting tax taken out is paying child support, don't even know it. When you got your working papers, that may be 14, some states is 16, you pay child support then. Why do you think I keep telling the brothers, again, you need to go get an audit of your Social Security account. Because I have mine. It's a certificate with a red ribbon with a gold seal on it. You pay, oh, now they slick now. Because I notice when I wake up people, the system seems to change things. They have a chart, and depending on how many years you go by, that you work, is a certain price there, and then they give you a certification fee. So when I did it in '97, that's another document I should have, so I can show it to you what you look like. Because this is stuff that I do. This is not something I say. It's what I do. It is $60 for the search, plus $5 for the certificate. Altogether was $65. Now you're paying $200. But it's worth it because it tells you that you're not in the arrears. You were never in the arrears. It's impossible for you to be in the arrears. Why? Because Title 4D, this is what it's called, Title 4D of the who? Social Security Act. They taking money out and it's going into that trust. That's a trust. They taking it out of FICA, is going in there. State taxes is going in there. Social Security taxes is going in there, and your Medicaid tax is going in there. They got your pay stuff, and you'll see all the taxes is going right into that trust. So how could you be on child support? Everybody is paying for everybody's child. I agree with the child support system. I don't agree how they implement it. That's the problem. Because that trust is for your child, so God forbid if something happened to mommy and daddy, there would be money there for the child. You follow me? So I agree with the system on how, because we all making a contribution to that. But what they go wrong at is the collection agencies coming after you, saying that you owe child support. That's not true. No man or woman don't owe no child support. That's providing that you worked and made a contribution. If you didn't work and make a contribution, then they would be right about that. But not to tell you worked the job. Yes.
How you tell a judge that?
You know, brother. Brother, first of all, I don't get into telling you judges anything. I put them on judicial notice, and because they go rogatory on it. You can tell judges the right thing, and they still go against you. You can dot your T's, you can dot your I's and cross your T's, and they still go against you. Because the so-called judges are really lawyers. They're all a part of the Bar Association. If you go online for the State Department, right? I'm not sure about here. I have to check it. But in New York, like in Bronx, it says the Bronx Family Court Bar Association. So you wonder why they slaughtering the Bronx in the State Department. It says the Bronx Family Court Bar Association. That means the bar is running the family court. Right. There's another information you need to know. Dr. Shirley Moore, Moore, go to her website. She's out there in LA. She found out that these damn judges own the slush fund and own the goddamn family court out there in LA. And she did it what you call is a 990, right? Because it was a non-for-profit, right? It was a non-for-profit, and she got all the information, see who was the directors, where the checks, and she, matter of fact, when you see it, she's an attorney's right standing right next to her, and she's blowing his mind. She had all these documents showing that the judges own the goddamn family court. And all the money that's coming in when they do child placement and all that is all going into their flush funds. They're wicked. I'm up on all this stuff.
So what would be the best way to combat them? Like, on the court? What document?
Well, let me tell you something like this. See, let me share something with you. Technically, the court really is not really a court. All right? True. It's not a court. If you look at the state constitution, the court was supposed to be legislated under the state constitution. Every state has a constitution, and it was legislated under the state. The courts today is no longer legislated under the state; it's been incorporated. So there was some wars out in Georgia. I helped them get their child back. Child Protective Services took the child back. I dropped some jewels on them; they couldn't believe it. I had to show them where the court was an LLC. The court was an LLC. So we came at them like that. So what I'm saying is, you're wasting your time getting documents, going into the court, and being at the mercy of these damn people to expect to rule in your favor. You could be dead right, but they're gonna go with the wrong. Right. Because it's a situation for them. They don't want to make it obvious. Then let some of them people come through the gate. So they won't make it look obvious. Brother, let me tell you another thing I did. There was a Moor, his name was Mapu. He was driving his land vessel on the highway. Police stopped him. He had a suspended license. He was facing 1 year in jail. So the Moor called me. He said, Moor, how are we gonna deal with this thing? Shut him down. He said, shut him down? I said, yeah. When they had him in court, we did a notice of removal. We brought him to federal court. They couldn't do nothing. They had him down for trial. They only have a certain amount of days to bring him to trial. You gotta know the statute. Every state has a statute based upon the limitation when they're supposed to conduct trial. When that time went by, only thing I did as a test run is file a motion in the court under the particular statute, and they turned around and denied the motion. And guess what they did? And matter of fact, I'll bring that in next time. I'll show you the minutes. They turned around and I'll show you the motion and I'll show you the minutes, so you'll see what I'm saying. When you look at the motion that was put together and you look at the minutes, the DA said, Your Honor, under this particular statute, I think it was 170 something of the Penal Code of the State of New York, we are discontinuing this action because they failed to prosecute in the timely manner. I use the same statute, but it's politics. You follow me? But I do it anyway. I follow the protocol anyway. Even if they're going to deny it, I follow it anyway, because sometimes I'll take it to appeals court, and when they're on the appeals, we'll return the decision. You know, because sometimes you have a better shot at the appeals than you have at the trial court. It's all politics. You know what I'm saying? Huh? Oh.
How do you put the judge on judicial notice?
Yeah, that's the best way.
How do you do that?
Well, each state statute has a judicial notice. All right? That's what I use. I use judicial notices. People who talk about affidavits and motions, and they against motions and affidavits. That don't make sense to me. If you're going to be against motions, which doesn't make sense, that's parliamentary procedure. You know, if the judge is not following it, he's violating parliamentary procedure. He's got to know this stuff. Get Robert Rules of Order. It's in there. It'll tell you. Because the House uses motions, right? AA, nay. That's proper. Because the judge is not really supposed to intervene, right? If the other party doesn't convert your motion, you're supposed to win that case automatically on default. But the judge is going to side with the other side. So it ain't the motion is the problem, it's the goddamn judge is the problem. So I'm going to give you the proper information, all right? You got to know this stuff. But if you got a problem with motion, I won't do no affidavit either. Because the statute talks about affidavit also. I can show that to you also. So if you're going to beat up on motions, you might as well be able to affidavit too, because the motion and the affidavit is both in the damn statute. So if you want to use something, put them on judicial notice. All right? Just go hit them with a letter of rogatory. All right? Hold on. Give me a second.
Yeah.
You finished?
Yeah, that's it. Yeah.
All right. Let's go here.
All right, brother. I wanted to ask, where can we look to find?
You got a question? My mic.
Oh, yeah, sorry about that. It's on.
It's on.
Where can we look to find that information regarding the Jews and the Japanese being exempt?
Oh, no, I got to get that.
from child support?
I got to get that, Mom.
Okay, it's
I
on.
got to get that. I told you that's under social service law of the state of New York.
Okay,
I don't know why I can't find it. It's thick. That thing is thick. So I'm going to have to go page by page by page.
All right,
Get it.
appreciate you.
Yeah, but I get it. Yeah, when I get it, though, I'll make sure you get it.
Okay, brother.
Appreciate you too, though, please. Any questions? Yes. We want to set up this, door?
In 1994,
Yes.
I started a business
All right.
to publish my work.
All right.
And in 2003, my father passed. 2004, my son committed suicide. So right after that, I had an emotional breakdown. As a result, I didn't do anything with the business for several years.
All right.
Okay? I didn't find out until not too long ago that the bank account that I had for the business was not in my name. I established a fictitious name for the business.
Which is good.
And The bank account.
Even if it's your name, even if it was your name, it still would be fictitious.
Right, but the bank account was still open because there was still a minimal amount of money in there, but I didn't realize it at the time because I was busy doing the counseling because I had kind of zoned out of here.
All right.
If I wanted to reactivate the business, I know that I would probably have to pay a fine for the years that I had not filed anything. But the business was basically inactive because there was nothing happening. So what could I do as far, like I said, I probably have to be fined for not filing, but there was no money.
All right.
Because the business wasn't doing anything.
So do you have to file it as a loss? That's all.
So.
Why, they're claiming that you.
No, nobody contacted me about anything.
All right.
I wanted to reactivate the
And this was
business.
in 94?
The business started in 94.
All right.
But as of 2006,
You haven't filed anything?
I didn't do anything. I didn't do anything with the business. There was no money. And
So now, here's the question, because this question is gonna be the determining factor. Are you looking to start up, continue the business?
yeah. Well, restarting all that because, like I said, nothing happened.
Well, I think what the smart thing you can do is dissolve it and start it back again.
Okay.
That's the most smart thing you can do,
Okay.
is dissolve it and start it back again.
Okay.
Unless you got an account going on, you got an account?
There's a business account. But
Is
it's
money in
only
there?
$25 in there.
Wow. See, that's credit to you. So that's why I said it all depends on what's going on. I can tell you what you gotta do.
And I have a federal ID number.
You'd be best to dissolve it.
Okay.
Because what happens is that there's a certain amount of time you're supposed to file your business tax, and they're gonna hold penalties against you.
Yeah.
So to kill those penalties, dissolve it.
Dissolve it.
And start it again. That'd be
Okay.
the smartest thing to do. But it ain't even worth the credit and the $25.
Right. So do I
So-
need an attorney to?
You don't need to do that. You can put that, you know, we started it here.
in-
Jersey, yeah.
In Pennsylvania?
Yeah. What you do is, they got the Secretary of State, they should have forms where it says dissolution of corporations.
Right.
It's simple. The stuff that charge you $100, you can do it yourself.
Okay.
You know, it's a
Because
matter
it
of,
wasn't even a corporation.
I'm just saying, you did it in the state or you did it in the county,
In Philadelphia?
which is the county,
Yeah.
which is the county or the city. All right. Well, you can put it in a dissolution.
Okay.
Yeah. You know, you can go to the clerk's office and say you have a certificate of dissolution, that's what it's
Okay.
called.
Okay.
So you know. And just put that in.
Okay.
And just kill it. You'll be good.
Okay.
And then start stuff back up again. You know. That'd be the smartest thing, because they don't want you to pay a business tax. They don't want to be liable to that.
Okay.
Go to optimum.net. You can see, I already got the stuff on my link, and time is of the essence, so I'd rather just go to my email. So just go to optimum.net, and I'll show you what to do with Optimum. Yeah, optimum.net. Any questions?
So, I got one.
Talk to me.
Once you send those letters to the certified copy.
Hold on, because he has a question first. And you can pass it back.
You mentioned something earlier in reference to the 9-digit social security number. You said you used 7.
The Jews use 7.
And then you stopped, and I didn't know where you were going with that.
No, I was just saying that the Jews have 7, which means they got some special purpose going on because they got 7 digits of theirs.
Right.
But what I wanted to say to you, my sister, what happened to her?
Don't say it.
Write it down.
Yes, please.
I'm telling, no, this is the user, I got you. I'll put you down. Put Morris Law. Yeah, I'll do it anyway. But Morris Law. What I want to do, this is the, that the Jews hold on to the death certificates because they money. You know what I'm saying? Money.
So if a credit card company,
Just put it up.
if a credit card company asks you to send a copy of the death certificate to them, should you do that?
Text them in.
Put that on paper.
You got a pen?
Piece of paper and.
You
got 100 people with pen saying
You don't have it to do.
people with pen right here.
Yeah, but I think if I put it in your phone, it would be more personal.
Well, I know, but I'm telling only because I'm fully, I got like 3 things I gotta do. I need somebody sitting here. I don't need to be here. I need someone sitting here. All right.
Okay, now take that
If I put that on your phone, it'll be better.
All right, yeah, I know.
and rip that off and give it to
Yeah,
me.
that's what I'm doing.
Oh, thank you. Sorry.
You be out of the building, you be out of the building.
All right, I got it.
I'm listening.
So now, so let's do this. All right.
Return. Yeah. There you go.
All right. And then do this. All right.
It's gonna be quicker and faster because. Question, I'm sorry. Yes, brother.
Oh, yeah.
What do you got 15 seconds?
When
Did somebody want to get to?
Probably with a question.
when
Yeah, you said death certificates with money.
That's right.
How?
Because the CUSIP number shows you that it's a bond and you get the money on it.
when you attach a copy of the bankruptcy and send it to the creditors, right, with along with the UCC one. When you get a copy of the certified bankruptcy and send it to the to your creditors along with the UCC one, what happens then? After 30 days?
Oh, what happened is this,
Okay.
is that, then you have to follow that up with, a UCC 3.
Okay. After 30 days, you wait till you hear from them?
No, you don't have to do that, because you want to do your own process.
Okay. So you send it to them via, not certified, but, registered mail. And then you wait maybe 15 days or something like that, and you do a UCC 3?
Right.
Okay, then what?
You know what? When you do the UCC 1, then right after you do the UCC 1, that UCC 1 is going to go to them. Then after it goes to them, what's going to happen, right, is you're going to follow up with a UCC 3.
Okay.
Somebody can work this one.
Yeah, he right there. He right there.
Oh, all right.
Front lights,
What's the name?
Oh, it's coming up.
Yeah.
front lights.
All right, good, it's coming up. Let's show you what's going on. This is to look up a trust with a mortgage, or it could be a student loan, it could be a credit card loan. But I have all this information that I did major research over a period of time that I was in teaching, or, you know, even here, or even in the National Black Theater. It's been a while, you know, because, some personal issues I had to deal with. But while I was, you know, away, maintaining, I was doing a lot of research. Go to the sent box. It is quicker to do it this way. Yeah, click it. And at the top here, you're gonna see the egg online? Click that. Okay, egg online. See egg online? Yeah. Right? Show you something. Click that. Now, earlier before, you clicked it, double click. Okay, there we go, it's coming up. You're gonna see some links. Hit the first link, so we can see what's going on. Because the time is coming. All right, this is where you register at. When you go to Egg Online, right? You with me? Mm-hmm. When you go to Egg Online, you have to sign up, right? Of course, you put your first and last name, you know, your email, confirmation email, phone number, whatever. And then you, of course, you know, you register. And then you can go online. All right? So this is what it would look like. When you go to Egg Online, this is what the page will look like when you subscribe. So when you go in there, you know, see, look what it's saying. It's comprehensive what? SEC valid information. It's company data over 14,000 U.S. public companies, see, 30,000 worldwide. 10 years history on U.S. what? Financials. Inside the institution of what? Ownership. It shows you who owns the instrument. You can find this information out. I don't care if it's mortgage loans, credit cards, student loans, whatever it is. Matter of fact, I have to go a little bit deeper than that ordinary stuff. Why? Because say for instance you may say, oh, what about the birth certificate or the death certificate or the marriage certificate? Well, it has a serial number on it. And I already read from the Dictionary of Financial Terms the definition of serial. All right? Like serial bond, and that's what they are. They're serial bonds. I have to get the QSUP number. Now, let me show you something too that you need to see real quick. And I said I was going to bring it in. I was hoping the sister from London was going to be here.
Next 30.
All right. This here is Global QSUP Services. People write the information. Like, you ever heard of 55 Water Street?
Yes.
55 Water Street, right? Because people put it on UCC documents or whatever documents because they say that the trust, DTC, Depository Trust Company. If anybody is familiar with that?
Yeah.
All right, 55 Water Street down in Manhattan, where all these trusts is at, where they recorded and deposited trust. They talk about it. I was actually in the building. You see the address? And when you open this up, I was taking a course with these people, with nothing but Europeans. There was none of us in there. I took one more with me. All right. Information they was dropping was incredible. All right, we'll pass this down. We'll pass this around, but the fold is kind of like it's hurting. But the main thing is
I gotta get
this
this
information.
This one, I'm tired.
This information here I want to show people too. Like I said, it's got a lot of information. Yeah, you can just pass it around. You can just scroll it like right here, and you can start seeing right here on this page. We talk about equity, debt, and others. That's what you need to look at. Very serious. So now this is the page that you will register. Now you can go back. All right, you can go back.
You want to go back?
Yeah, go back. Yeah, go back. I'm not too familiar with Apple. I think you have to come out of this page. Yeah. I think you hit the red.
Not right there.
No.
The red. You hit the red.
The
The
no,
red?
the arrow, the little
Right
gray,
here?
that little gray arrow. Yeah,
I
arrow.
don't think that's.
Yes.
Yeah, that's what I was. I'm
Look at my highlight.
That one right
Go
there?
next to it. There's something next to it.
No, you want to come out of this page.
Oh, you want to completely
Go
out
to
of the
red.
page?
Yeah.
You go to red,
You want
right?
to go to your inbox?
Red. Yeah,
Okay.
yeah,
Red.
you wanna-
Red? Okay.
Yeah, I think it's red.
No, no, go to red. No. Now the close it.
You want to close this page?
He wants to close
Yeah,
it.
but close the
Go to the arrow.
no.
It's going to be
Arrow
facing you.
What is
the
this
arrow?
page?
That one, that's explaining that.
Right here?
Oh, hit the yellow,
Previous
yellow
page.
Go to
just
the red. Whatever
minimize
you
it.
do, don't go to the red. Do not go to the red, whatever you do.
The yellow will minimize it.
Next time I bring Microsoft Word. Windows. Yeah.
Windows.
Yeah, you can X that out. That's what I said. There's
That's
a
what
page
you,
behind that.
I know that's what you want to do, right?
Yeah, X this page out. There's another page behind it.
Exactly.
And that's the red.
I wanted to pull it down so they can see that there's another
Yeah,
page
X.
behind
You see
it.
the X?
Yellow, do
Look,
that.
this is the page he's trying to get
Right.
to.
True.
Yes.
But X this out.
Yes.
The
I
red.
got you, bro.
Thank you.
I got
Thank you.
Just click the other page and it
Can
pop
you hear me,
forward.
please? Thank you.
What it is there.
I ain't a rocket scientist, but
There's a bar here. Like
True.
on mine, I don't have a bar, so you.
yeah, but people been saying, don't hit the red, don't hit the red.
Yeah, that's what.
But I don't know Apple that much, but I know enough to hit the red.
That's what you want to do.
Or somebody better leave it.
Not rocket science.
And he still needs you, I think.
Yes, we have to do. You're killing me over here. All right, hit the next link. Hit the next link.
Then hit the bar.
Yeah.
Use the
The next
pad
link.
and then
How much?
double click. There you go.
Here we go.
And that's a whole nother page.
Thank you. Exactly. This page popped up. Now, when you see what it says here, it's loading up. May 4th, 2007, CWABS, Inc., that's a company, entered into what? A pooling servicing agreement. So people would know what they're talking about. It's called retail installment contracts. what they would do is that after you endorse, as I showed you on the board earlier, all those different derivatives, after you endorse it, right, it depends on how many people who have applied for this, which is the application somebody had said earlier. They will pool all that in. It could be 1 million people. They will pool that in, and they have a pooling services agreement. Why? Because they're going to sell that as derivatives to investors to make money on your student loan, your mortgage loan, your car loans. This is what these people are doing. Pooling services agreement dated April 1st, 2007, and what? By and among the company as depositor. Who's the depositor? Countrywide Home Loans as the seller. All right, these are the derivative companies. Park Monaco Inc. and seller Park Seneca LLC. The seller, Countrywide. See? Master servicer. The Bank of New York is who?
Trustee.
As the trustee, right? The Bank of New York Trust Company or co-trustee provided for the who? Issuing company of the asset-backed certificate series 2007-7. See? The certificates was what? Issued on May 4th. All right, now May 4th was the actual closing. Like say for instance, you go to there's two closings. Say for instance, you have a mortgage and you at the closing. There's two closings. They're not telling you that it's two. The closing is when you endorse the mortgage and the note, that's the closing, and there's a closing of what you call is the trust. So May 4th was the closing of the trust. So now when you get these assignment of mortgage, say for instance that when a lender takes your mortgage and sell it to another lender, the assignment of mortgage is fraud. Why? Because in this case that I'm doing right now, they said that they sold this mortgage to another lender in 2012 to the same entity. So this was done in 2007, and they're saying that they sold it in 2005. Well, how could you sell it in 2012? Pardon me. How do you sell something that you already had in possession 5 years prior? You follow me? Wow. So this is how you kill them. But who knows this? This is how you shut down your mortgage issue and win your case in court just by this information. You follow me? See how important this information is? On the far end, you see where the blue button is, brother? That's when you scroll down. You can press further up, yeah. No, further down, you're right. Further down, you're right, right there. You're right.
They don't have
You're right.
facts, they don't.
You're right. You see? Keep scrolling. Keep scrolling. So this is what you call is a pooling servicing agreement. See, stop right there. Look what it said. On May 4th, 2007, right? They entered into a swap contract, what? Assignment agreement, because that's another assignment. They have an assignment of mortgage and they have an assignment of agreement. The swap, that's a whole new different derivative. They got even a swap trust and a trustee that actually, and the purpose of the swap is because of the fact that, say for instance, if the loan is not doing well on the market, they will swap interest rates so that way they can boost up that derivatives equity for the investors. That's the purpose of the swap. You follow me? So you have an idea what's going on. This is serious. This is the stuff that I be coming at them banks in court. And it goes into the floor because none of the lawyers out there who takes on your mortgage case go into this kind of information. And the lawyers that you're battling against, they go into the floor because they don't know how to handle this.
They wouldn't tell you anything, would they? A lawyer.
They don't know. How can they tell you for something they don't know? These lawyers don't know. I had a lawyer who was doing a bankruptcy case, and I had to drop this information on her. We was doubting. Matter of fact, she was doubting. I had to keep proving after proving after proving until she got it. And she was a lawyer. I should have recorded that. Y'all would have loved it. I was going to do. I was educated lawyer. You know what I'm saying? So this is the site that you can go to. All right, where you put your trust at. When you get the trust of your mortgage, put it into the search your trust. You see what it says right here? CWABS, asset-backed certificates. All right? You click onto that.
CWABS?
Yes, click onto that, brother. Watch what's going to come up. This is what's going on, family. You see,
The actual certificate.
You see the trust? Now you have to find out what year your trust falls in. But you see that? These are all trusts. You see? And you can click on any one of these.
Click on one.
Click on any one of them. So you can see what I'm talking about. So they give you the date of the filing. That's the SIC number. All right, that's a very important number to take because then you can file that case with that SIC number. They show you the address. You see, that's the company, the address, zip code. So if you had to sue these people, this is the information where you can get. You got the SIC number, the filing date, the form, 10D. So this is all the information that you have to sue this company, which means if you wanted to make them the defendant to sue them, this is the information you can use right here to sue these people, based upon what's going on with your information that's being put into this pool. All right? Just to give you an example of what's going on.
Wow.
All right, so you can go, again, get X.
I gotta bring this business to you.
Should we just write on this X or what?
Get X, man.
To the red.
The red.
Yeah, to the red. Yeah, thank you. All right, you can come out of there, you can X that, go to the corner and X that. No, right here, right here. Right here, brother, right here. X that out. And go to this one right here. Top one. Yeah, Morris. Yeah, click onto that. Come on. There we go. Click the first one. So you can see what's going on. Oh, we can't find this file. All right. Yeah, you know what happened? All right, because of the IP address, because these things are registered to the IP address. You know how that thing works. Sometimes if they don't recognize the IP address, that's what happens. Click out of there.
I sent you an email.
Yeah, click that. Yes, you did.
Second one?
Yeah, the second one. Let's see what's going on with that. All right. You see this one?
Mm-hmm.
Now you notice this one says certificates. The other one that you see says trust. You see that? You see the difference between the two?
Yes.
Yes.
All right, and again, you can click on any one of those filings.
Okay.
All right, you see the filer? That's the filer. All right, click on any one. All right, see, I have the password in. It's okay, here. Go to password. It doesn't, yeah. Put circle 7. Yeah. My email out would have been something different, but that's them. You can hack them if you want. See where we went? Now scroll down. Scroll down.
Report.
See, that's the documents and exhibits. You see the annual report? You see the financial statements? So you can click on any one of these documents, these links, so you can see exactly what's going on. But see, this right here alone is really a class by itself. Because I have to show you how to read this stuff.
I bet.
All right, you see the pool and servicing agreement? Click on this one there.
EX4.
Yeah. See the current report, Form 8K? Scroll down. You see that now that certificate. Now there we go. That's what we're looking for. Look what it says here. Who's the seller? Look who's the master service, the trustee, the Bank of New York Trust Company, co-trustee, the pool and servicing agreement. Scroll, brother. Scroll, see? You see the language is over to the C. This is no joke, family. Look, see, they got Article 1 of definitions. Keep scrolling. The conveyance, hold on.
Conveyance
a
of
mortgage loan,
mortgage.
see? Representations and what? Warranties. Conveyance of mortgage loan, see? Acceptance by trustee. So these different sections is further down. When you go further down trustee, that's what I normally do. But you can just scroll down. Yeah. Don't go too fast. Just scroll, but don't go too fast. Yeah, keep scrolling. Keep scrolling. So you can get an idea what it looks like. Keep going. Yeah, you see? These are the classes. Stop there for a minute. I don't know if you remember. Remember when I showed you the Bloomberg? Oh, they want $2,000 to go up in there. $2,000 a month. Remember I showed you the Bloomberg? Remember this? Where it showed you the mortgage, then it showed you the money, the Q-sub numbers. This is the company that I went to. You're passing it around, right? All right, you're passing it around. Good. All right, because that's the course that I took up. Because I got to know what these devils are talking about, so I can help our people. I'm doing this for y'all. Who's doing this? Nobody else was doing this. But they can get on YouTube and battle it out with each other. But they're not in there with these Europeans sitting down studying this stuff. Because they're using this stuff against us. This is the new slave trade that's going on right now. We have no idea with all these derivatives that we are signing our signature to, they're trading this stuff on the market. Your birth certificate, your marriage license, your death certificate. This is what these people are doing. You follow me? So it's very important to be aware of that. Yes, brother? So those are different classes. All right? And when you look at this document, you'll see that the different classes are here also. You'll see the different classes. You will see it. You'll see the classes, you'll see the Q-sub number, and you'll see the amount of money that's being paid. Like for instance right here, this is somebody's actual mortgage that we did a securitization audit on. See, this loan was found in 15 of the 19 classes, as the loan was located in group 0, all collateral, and group 1. 6 classes are unpaid, and the remaining 9 classes are completely paid. All right? But meanwhile, they want to foreclose on this mortgage. What? How could you foreclose on a mortgage that's in trust? Do you know it's against the law to foreclose on a mortgage that's still in trust? The trustee has to sell the mortgage back to the loan originator in order to foreclose. So they got your property, right? But yet at the same time, they're still making money on your mortgage. And this is proof. This is proof. You follow me? So you need your loan number or the Q-sub number. Again, I told you, I'm the only one that you can talk to when it comes to the bond. People talk about bonds, I can get your bond for you. Only thing I need is the loan number. You have to pay the fee for the Q-sub, all right? I get the Q-sub, I go either into TC Links, which is Wells Fargo, Fidelity, Standard & Poor's, because I go to these places to go take up courses. I'll be in there with the Bank of America Association. I'll be taking courses. It'll be costing me $300 to sit among them devils to get that information. Because who's doing this? Other than me. That's what I'm saying. Who's doing this? But everybody else got something to say. I got nothing to say. I got something to prove. I got nothing to say. I got something to prove to my people what's going on here. This is the new slave trade right now. All right? And we are the collateral. Whatever assets you have is the collateral. They take that stuff and they sell it on the market. Like your car. Your license is a bond. You don't need no insurance. Your license is the insurance. We did it in class. We pulled the Q-sub number on it and we show you what the license looked like. It's a bond. You don't need no bond. You can just pull the bond. This other dude is called Fidelity. Give them the Q-sub number and it costs $1,000 to get your bond. That's all. And once you got your bond, you don't need no car insurance. You got your bond already. Your license is your bond. Why do you think they revoked the bond? The license. They say it's a privilege. But most of us don't know what the word privilege means. The word privilege means private law. Privilege means private law. Look up the etymology. Yes, brother.
About a reference to cards, how about getting the manufacturer's certificate of origin? Wouldn't that knock all that out? You have to add insurance. You rightfully own your vehicle.
True, but Noble, that's something very difficult to get. Unless you're getting a car under symbol from California, it's hard to get that. Only time you're going to see that manufacturer's certificate of origin that come with your package is from California if you order them. But if you get a brand new car, they'll give you a copy of it. Because I had a brand new car, so I know what it looked like. You get a brand new copy of it. They won't give you the actual one, but they give you a copy of it. You follow me? That's what they will do. Because they take the certificate of manufacturer's certificate of origin, and they will send it to the state, and in return they get a certificate of title.
Copy.
True. That's why the word "of" means from. It's from the title. It's not the title. Most people think that's the title. Yes, brother.
Yeah. So did they change some laws or something? Because now banks and credit card companies will send you this disclosure thing that says that there's certain people that they will give your information to.
You know what that's from? That's from the signature card. I have that information too. I don't know where, brother. I got so much information they ain't even damn funny. It's from the signature card. What happens, brother, real quickly, because it's after 9. What happened is this, brother, is that the signature card has implications there for them to operate a certain way against you. All right? And so you sign your signature and give them authorization to levy your account, freeze your account, give up information to lawyers. You follow what I'm saying? So it's the signature card that's doing that. But how would you, for anybody who wants to know this information, right? Go to the bank and sit down with the bank representative and say, listen, do I got a signature card on file? She says yes. He said, what are the implications of that? Because I never got full disclosure of the implications of a signature card. So whatever you said, brother, is true. They will levy, freeze, give information, all on your account, and you signed for it, you didn't know it, because they never gave you full disclosure. You follow me? Then go to the bank, ask them, they'll tell you, but I have the information.
Can I go back to the death certificate?
Yes, we can.
Yeah, sometimes credit card companies want you to send them the death certificate. And you said that that's
wouldn't
money,
do that.
right?
That's money, they wouldn't do that.
Don't do that, right?
No, because they're gonna act as the creditor.
Okay, now,
They're gonna act as the creditor, that's what they do.
if somebody makes transition, one more question.
Mhm.
Somebody makes a transition and they had, say they had an alarm system put into their home. Now, the city of Philadelphia charges people who have alarm systems in their homes. They charge them yearly, $50 or something, because that's a fee that if the alarm is tripped, the police have to come, so they charge you for that. Now, if that person is deceased, makes transition,
That's dead.
and it's no longer operating in that home.
It's dead.
Okay.
But they still won't put the charge there, but it's dead. You know what you do? If they want to see something, send them the obituary. Don't send them the Simple, right? See how simple that was? Send them the obituary. Because they know that's true. It's in the paper. Right? So send them the obituary. Don't send them the death certificate. You hold on to that. That's money. The Jews hold on to theirs.
So when does it transition to money, this death certificate? How does it happen?
What happens is this. They take the certificate and they fractionalize it. All right? We all went to grade school where we did fractions. You have the whole, and they can divide it up as many times they want to, the whole. And they take each integral part of the whole and they sell it to investors. You follow me? No, you don't follow me.
Yeah, I understand what you're saying.
I didn't get a response. That's why.
I'm sorry, I'm sorry, I'm just listening.
Yes, I'm just saying, they take the integral part and they sell it to investors. So the investors pull all their money into this one pool. You follow me? And then they have bonds on that. So they sell those bonds to anybody, you know, any kind of type of bonds. Municipal bonds, you know, corporate bonds, you know, bonds that's connected to credit cards, you know, whatever. Mortgages, notes, whatever. And they sell this. This is how they generate the money. And this is why you have to see this, because it gives you the understanding what's going on. But this here is a class by itself. This is a class by itself. Yes. Yes.
I have one question. I got an LAC company.
All right.
And it's in bankrupt. But I got into some dispute with my associates. But I want to open a new company.
Mm-hmm.
But I want to use all the assets that I got.
What you should have done is open up a new company before it went bankrupt, and then transfer all the assets to the new company. That's called bankruptcy remote. That's what that's called. They do it all the time. The banks, corporation business do it all the time.
And I want to do.
Is the bankruptcy, did it discharge the LLC yet?
No. Well, I don't have the file yet, the bankruptcy.
Excellent. Open up a new company and transfer your assets to another company, all right, and dissolve it and operate under the new company. That's called bankruptcy remote.
All right.
That's what that's called. Look the word up. Don't take my word. Because I'm not playing today, fam.
No.
That was wicked. You follow me? It's called bankruptcy remote. R-E-M-O-T-E. Bankruptcy remote. All right? That's what they do. Yes, Rob.
I tried suing the city, and they told me I had to go to the Office of Finance.
That's right, because that's what the claims department is for their bond, the insurance. That's correct.
And I had to sign some form of
notice of claim?
Uh,
That's basically what it is.
removing them liability from the city, although I was suing the city.
Well, what you needed is to put in a claim to their claims department. Every city or municipality has that because they have liability bonds.
Yes.
All right? When you put, it's in their statute, which is a notice of claim.
They was claiming that the city is a sovereign and you cannot sue them, but then I saw exceptions, blatant fraud and negligence.
All right? And negligence. So you're getting them on negligence.
I tried, yes.
You tried.
But every time I mentioned it in court, the judge would just be
Let me tell you
quiet.
something, brother. Technically, you don't have to really go to court with that. Like, for instance, give you an example. Say, for instance, you get into a car accident.
Yes.
Who goes to court? You just change the insurance information, and the insurance company take care of it.
Right.
You follow me? Because
Right.
technically, you really don't have to go to court. Court is just an alternative. But I do more outside the court. Like, for instance, I do a case right now against Wells Fargo, right? And we brought them to every court. It's been about, 5-6 years I got this person in the house. They can't believe it. Damn, we can't get them out of the house.
Right.
Oh yeah, I'll keep you in the house for 20 years each. I know what to do.
Yes.
But I did that in court, see if I can get a precedent so that can be used to help other people. But if I really want to hurt them, which I'm going to do, I go to these people
Got
and
it.
file an SEC complaint. All right? Matter of fact, let me drop another jewel on y'all. When I found his trust information, I sent it to the vice president of the bank of Wells Fargo down in Maryland. They sent back express mail information that they need him to fill out so they can cut him his check. Wow. I'll bring that in. I'm not playing with this family. I don't got no time to be bickering and arguing with the next man about me, myself, and I. And I'm the big dog and cheese. I ain't with that. Our people's hurt. We need solutions. Like my man Malcolm said, any means necessary. This is what I'm about, brother. I'm a revolutionary. You know what I'm saying?
Remedy.
Question over?
I was looking at, I don't know, I got an email, I was looking at an email about banking, they said Wells Fargo is owned 90% by the Attorney General, is that true?
90%
Is it
of
possible?
Of what?
He owns,
Attorney General?
Yeah.
I wouldn't even doubt it, brother, because you be like I just told you about the court. And LA, listen, go to the website. Go check out Dr. Shirley Moore. She's showing you that these judges own family court. And that ain't 90%, that's 100%. You know what I'm saying, brother? So that's no news to me.
I'm not shocked.
That's what they do. Yes, brother.
Some time ago, I had the insurance policy.
Mm-hmm.
Oh,
You speak a little loud too, brother, because you
I had the
insurance policy.
some time ago, I had the insurance policy for the county of Camden, and it had said underwritten by the ones of London, and I didn't understand. I looked at underwritten means.
Yeah. They're writing bonds.
Exactly.
They're writing contracts and agreements. By Lloyd's of London, huh?
Yeah.
So that's, all right, that's what your investments are. Yeah, you say it's insurance policy?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's another thing I should add on the board too. Yeah. And another thing too, you reminded me, Rob too, listen, technically you're supposed to put in the notice of claim, that goes to their claims department. You're supposed to get what you call is a hearing on your claims. Did you get a hearing on your claims?
No.
Because that's what you were supposed to get. See, I gotta come back here and go to Jenkins, because you know that's my spot, that's my hangout.
Law library.
We had class there one time, right?
Yes.
What person you know who had class in law library?
Right. This
We had it
6.
in Rutgers, we had it in Jenkins, right?
This
And we
6.
got
I
both.
remember.
You follow me?
I know it by heart. This
We gave
6.
class in law library, right? Straight up. We're gonna do it again. Cause I take you straight to the books. You know what I'm saying? You know how we do.
What we got?
Talk to Dula. Cause you know me, I'm, listen. So we doing Noah, we do it again.
Cause Noah did it.
I wish you can, but I gotta go to River, Long Island and 4 or 5 people in court. You know, beat them up again.
Alright, what time?
Yes.
It's 9.
Court after.
I would like the last question.
Last question?
Last question.
Yes.
Oh.
You know anything about bonds on those individuals who are incarcerated?
Oh, definitely. That's my thing. That's my thing. It's the indictment number is what you need, because the bond is on the indictment number. And another thing too, thank you for that, I gotta contact this sister down in North Carolina. I hope I didn't lose contact with her. When a brother or sister who have done time in jail, right, say for instance 10 years, give me a minute, sis, because you interjecting while I'm speaking, and that's gonna take away from what I'm stating. But I hear what you're saying, but I'm just trying to still get information. Because you're the last one for the question, so I'm gonna shut it down. If you've been incarcerated for 10 years or 5 years, don't make a difference. Our people did not know that you can file taxes and get a minimum of $2,000 for every year you've been incarcerated. Most people don't know that. I have the information, all right, but I gotta get the details on it, all right, and charge a fee. Because a lot of our brothers and sisters who are coming from out incarceration are having a hard time getting a job. You follow me? So that money can help them. You follow me? So that's the kind of information that you're down with, family, just to try to help our people. You know what I'm saying?
Bob, gonna close them out? Grab that phone for him. Hold that phone for him.
Yes.
Close out.
Okay.
We gotta close it out. We gotta close it out. We gotta close it out. Okay, Bob.
True. True. That's true. That's true.
Guess everyone enjoyed the presentation. A recession, the question and answer session always falls short. The question is, will we be here for a third time?
Oh, yes.
November 30th.
November 30th, pass up. Cecil B. Moore,
Part 3.
Part 3.
All right.
Etymology and finance.
Yeah,
Etymology and finance.
Yeah.
A comprehensive view to the new slave trade.
Serious.
Everyone give them a great round of applause.
I do have part 1. That's part 1. Part 1. Part 1.
Yeah.
When do you have this tape ready?
Part 1 and 2. Yes, I wanted to.
All right, how you doing, man? All right.
I like to 25 like that. Part 1.
Is it 15 you said?